Hey, third graders, happy Math Celebration Day. Um, what a year. We have worked so hard in math this year, and I am so proud of you. And Mrs. Hesselroth and Mrs. Hanson are so proud of you. And way to go. Way to work hard in math and to give it your all. So I just want to go through a couple things that we've done in distance learning, and then I have something to share with you at the end. So one of the things that we've done in distance learning is we've continued our math journals, and we have drawn pictures. We have worked with um, kind of reviewing some of those things that we've learned throughout the year, and tried to explain how we're solving problems. And so it was a really good tool for us to use to explain um, some things that we learned earlier in the year. One of the things that we did earlier in the year is multiplication and division. Of course, they're related, and you did it. You've learned your facts. And my advice to you is to take some time this summer, a little bit every week, and just practice your facts so that when you go into fourth grade, you are ready to go. You need your facts and you need to have them memorized in fourth grade. Fourth grade is going to be easier if you know your facts. So, not practicing them this summer is not a great idea. You can take that advice from Mrs. Martin, whose daughter did not practice one summer, and when she got to fourth grade, it was a lot harder because she had to quick try to remember all of her facts. So take my advice and practice your facts this summer, multiplication and division. When we did our math journal, we worked a little bit with perimeter and area this to review. You're going to do area a lot in fourth grade. And remember, perimeter is that distance around, and the area is the space inside. And we talked about having like the same area but different perimeters. We talked a lot about having the same perimeter but different areas. And you're going to do a lot more with this next year. We have done some geometry work this year, especially with quadrilaterals. You'll do a lot more with triangles next year. And just talking about what quadrilaterals are and the characteristics that define quadrilaterals and parallelograms and rectangles and squares and rhombuses and also trapezoids. And they're important, but they're also going to be a building block for geometry that you're going to be doing next year as fourth graders. We have done a lot of work and focused with telling time this year, third graders. And um, as a second grader, you told time to the 5 minutes. Maybe some of you even did telling time to the minute, but that's an expectation for third grade is to tell time to the minute. And quarter after the hour, and quarter to the hour, and half past. We also talked about different units of time. Um, Being able to convert minutes to seconds or hours into minutes. We talked about elapsed time. If I go to the store at 10 o'clock and I come home at 12:30, how long was I at the store? Figuring out the elapsed time or figuring out the start time. I was at the store for 3 hours and I got home at 2. What time did I go? And then also figuring out the end time. So, really important time skills we've done this year, and we've practiced during our journal work that we've done in distance learning. We've also worked a lot with the properties of operations, talking about commutative property, identity property, talking about even the zero property of multiplication, distributive property. We've worked a little bit with that and using parentheses. We've talked about PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, and the order of operations. So, how proud are you that you've got some of those skills ready to go for fourth grade, third graders? Well, here's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share with you my favorite summer card game. If I am not playing solitaire, which I like to play, or I'm not reading a good book, I like to play the game Trash with one of my daughters. And so the directions are here. You need to deal out 10 cards to each player, and you arrange them in 2 rows of 5, and make sure that you deal them out facing down. And what you want to do is you want to try to get all your cards in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top row, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the bottom row. When you're playing, aces are 1, and jacks and queens, if you pull those cards, that ends your turn. So let's see, the other thing is kings are wild cards. So if you pull a card and you have a card that you can't play, or let's say it's a jack or queen, and you put it in the discard, that ends your turn. Um, it's a fun game. It's fast moving. The winner. It's also a game of um, chance a little bit and how the cards are dealt and how they're organized. But you do need to know your order and have a little bit of strategy to it too. So it's a fun summer game. I have another game here called Slap It, and this is kind of a fun rainy day game. Um, you can have lots of players with this game, and you definitely um, want to make sure that you've got it in a place where the cards aren't going to go flying too much. But the object of the game is to win as many cards as possible, kind of like the game of war, um, by being the first to slap each odd number as it lands in the center. Okay, and that's kind of the tricky part, is that you can only slap it if it's an odd. So if you need to pause the video and take a look at these directions, you can do that. Or if you want to watch the video again and read the directions for trash, you can do that too. I'm so proud of you this year. I know Mrs. Hanson and Mrs. Hasselroth are too. So enjoy your day today. Enjoy the long weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you for the last week of school next week. Take care, everybody.